Right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you bear with me a moment, for some reason my my recording equipment seems to have completely stopped working. So if you bear with me a moment, just while I try and get this working. Hold on. No. Huh? Audio device. Set raise and Kraken. Bye. Let's see if this is gonna work. Ah! Okay, I think we're there. I do apologise, I seem to be having some minor technical difficulties with my audio, where everything seems to have become incredibly loud for no apparent reason. So if you bear with me just while I try and fix whatever's gone wrong. If anything sounds weird or is too quiet or too loud, please let me know. And as soon as we're up and running, I will... Hopefully I've doing that properly. Great. Absolutely everything seems to have gone wrong. The music, the desktop recorder's not working, the microphone stopped working, and now my playlist has stopped working. So far, we're 3 for 3. Aha. Go off out, hon. Walkie there. Do have fun. Love you. Hey! Right. Okay, here we go. Anyway, back to what we should be doing. So anyway, welcome to everyone who's just joined us, or anyone who's just joined us. I do apologise for the minor technical delays. Hopefully normal service should be resumed now. So today we are going to be doing a little tribute sculpt to the late, great Chester, who I'm sure, just like most people my age, had a profound impact around a lot. For those of you who have never seen ZBrush before, welcome to the source of pretty much every computer gaming character from around about Doom 3 to about now, there's pretty much not a character out there that hasn't been made in ZBrush. So, the plan for this sculpt, initially, is just going to be to get the basic facial details in, and once I've got those in, I will then obviously start detailing. Now, it will look a little weird to begin with, and if you do bear with, after a few minutes it should start to look like it. Hey Fotis, how's it going? Music has stopped. Why has the music stopped? Come on, you're supposed to be on constant replay. Constant replay. Come on, get on with it. If it gets really bad, then I might have to switch to a different playlist. Even any effort. He hasn't like re-rendered or reprinted them. He's just ripped everything. He even ripped the pictures straight out of my mini factory. God damn it! Wow. Good. Yeah. That's not a good thing to have half of your load of your stuff stolen and re-uploaded by some no talent individual. Anyway, right. So let's just keep. Fortunately, when I picked this picture, it unfortunately doesn't have these lips. I'm gonna have to not so much take a guess, but well, I'll do like a million reports now. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I don't blame you. The music has stopped again. Right, okay, that's it. I'm gonna have to switch. I'm gonna switch to a different different set. Hold on. It's an unofficial one, but it will at least. I think will play auto. I guess YouTube have finally cottoned on to everyone using their setup as music backgrounds. Yeah, if it does start causing more problems, just let me know. If it stops or anything like that, just let me know. Anyway, just keep sculpting. Like I say, ladies and gentlemen, anyone who has just joined us, I do apologise for the minor technical issues. For some reason, everything audio related on my machine stopped working a little while ago. When I say a little while, I mean about 10-20 minutes ago. So I was just getting ready to stream, and then all of a sudden everything stopped working. I was like, no, not a happy bunny. But I think we've got the majority of it up and running again. So yes, for those of you who are new to this, welcome to ZBrush and Twitch. Damn it! The hell, YouTube? You're supposed to be on autoplay. For God's sake. I changed it. Damn. Do I actually have to watch and keep it up on screen? Right. Well, of course. Now the track that I want to listen to has been taken off. Not fair. Theory in one. Did it. Right, like I say, for some reason YouTube seems to have stopped their autoplay, or broken their autoplay software, so, I do apologise. It looks like I'm going to have to shuffle along each track as soon as it ends, so if I kind of stop and start a lot, which is going to be really irritating, I do apologise. Normally the channel isn't this broken. For some reason, everything seems to have broken nearly straight away. As soon as I got online, everything broke. So yeah, I do apologise. I do apologise if I'm not quite my usual cool, calm, and collected self. It's just that everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong. Yeah. As soon as we've got the blocking done, we'll actually be able to do some proper artistry, because at the moment it's just going to take a little bit, it takes a bit of time just to sort of get everything in the right kind of place, where I can then start working. Damn it, YouTube. Control Maybe just something broke there.
This is the Mini Clubman, a car which is big, space and style. The double rear doors mean that this is a car that's smart in every sense of the word. So, when your hands are full, it opens the doors for you. Satellite navigation comes as...
Yeah, go away. Thank you. For those of you who have never seen ZBrush before, I do hope you're enjoying seeing me work. At this stage it is very, very early on in the sculpt, so at the moment there's very little detail going on. It is just blocking, just adding the landscape. We're not into the proper sculpt yet, or we're not into the full detail yet. We are barely scratching the surface. So all I'm doing at the moment is just making sure all the various landscape parts are in place, and by landscape I mean basic things like the ears. Sorry, minor break in the music, but luckily my friend Fotis here has just found me Meteora in one track, so now I don't actually have to switch the tracks. Hallelujah. Thank you, Fotis, much appreciated as always. There we go. Good. Right, now we can start. 3D. You'll be able to 3D print your own miniatures, and then watch as Games Workshop goes bankrupt within a week. Because again, I want this 3D printed, so it's got to be subtle enough to actually look like his actual hair, but deep and detailed enough that it'll actually come out in the print. So yeah, gonna be a bit of an interesting one for this. I thought the difficult part was going to be doing his face, but turns out it might actually be doing his hair.
It starts with
have... Oh, actually, next one's... yes, he does have a recess on his nose. Yep. It's always nice when other people point out, when the audience actually interacts and points out stuff that I've got wrong, because I do it a lot. Kind of one of the curses of the artist is when you've been looking at something for a little too long. It is worth getting back into 3D. Certainly getting into ZBrush. I'd highly recommend it. It's a great piece of... Well, exactly, yeah. It's free software and it's a good introduction to 3D work, very much so. I don't begrudge it. You know, I tried to use it a long time ago, and unfortunately, because I've always used 3D Max, I just could not wrap my head around its interface very easily. That whole it's not the space bar, I forget what it's called. Its interface is very different to anything else I had to use. So I walked away from it. I gave up in frustration a long time ago for Blender. anyone who says otherwise. But maybe. Okay. Ooh, we've got 5 people in the chat. Hi guys! Anyone in the channel who's live, do say hi. If you haven't already said hi, it's nice to know all those who are actually... Got up next. Castle Glass. Yes. Another... fantastic piece. I'm not gonna talk through this one. This one's too good to talk through. I do apologise if I start to go quiet, or go even more quiet than I'm already being. Generally speaking, when I start to get to this stage, I'm usually looking back and forth between my reference and everything else, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, looking for that one flaw or that one key difference, and everything else. And convinced that I've got it right, so if you see me kind of mucking around with the hair a bit, again, that's me just trying to so done. What have we got next for the music? After this bloody adverts! I do apologise for the adverts. Unfortunately, a little while ago, I had a massive hard drive failure, and I lost a lot of my stored music, including all of my Linkin Park stuff. So I actually need to go out and rebuy. I need to go out and rebuy the albums. I think my previous girlfriend might still have my original copies, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get those back. Little personal story. when I can I turn the music down a wee bit? Yeah, sure. I do apologise if it's a bit too loud or a bit too quiet for some people. I have had massive problems with my audio before I actually started. So if anything, if you want it up or down, please just say. Yeah, everything broke as soon as I got into the channel. It was bad. It was a bit of scrabbling around just to get it to work. But anyway, yeah, little personal story from back in the day. Had a girlfriend, fiance, well, girlfriend who I asked to marry me, and she said yes, which was all good. 2 weeks later, 2 weeks, being together for 5 years. 2 weeks later, she left me for some dickhead. Oh, that hurt. That wasn't good. And the worst part was she begged if she could actually keep the ring I made her, because I'm a jeweller. So she begged if she could keep the ring. Ooh. Oh, that didn't go down well either. But yeah, that was definitely something that Linkin Park helped me get through. I'm sure we've all got stories like that, and well, there's mine. I think actually the main thing that they certainly helped with was after she left, I did what a lot of men do. I went to the gym and I worked it out. I worked out the rage, and yeah, my workout tunes were Linkin Park, pretty much all of it. A little bit of Slipknot slid in there as well, but it was mostly Linkin Park. And yeah, just like I say, just like everyone's got story. You know, I'm pretty sure everyone who's a long-time listener of Me Tell for Life, yeah, absolutely. But like I say, I'm sure everyone who everyone who's listened to Linkin Park, they've got their own stories just like that of how the music, or I mean just music in general. But I think definitely for me personally, it's been Linkin Park's been my go-to for when things turn bad. Yeah, definitely. Right, now then, we're starting to get there with the face. I'm actually really starting to like where it's going. There's still one or two things that are not quite right. Since I've made his eyes too big. Let's see. So yes, I think what I'm probably going to start doing is working out precisely what I'm going to do with the rest of this, because one thing I want to try and incorporate into this is the Linkin Park logo. Not the modern one that's kind of like the monogram, but the original one, the Linkin Park lock. I might try and put that somewhere across the bottom. I don't know. We'll see. So it's going to be tricky to try and work that out. It's going to be a very tall sculpt, but not necessarily a bad thing. Like I say, this is more about a tribute to great band, great music. Nice to see a few more people in the channel. Do say hi, don't be a stranger. Everyone's welcome, all opinions and everything else. Do say hi. Yeah, say hi. Control A or Control Shift A in my case. You can. The normal way is if you go to masking and then you go inverse, so it's Control I. But what you can do is if you can actually hold down, if you down Control and Alt, you can actually set your own custom key. So if you hold down Control and Alt and then click on the button and then hold down the button you want the key to be, and once you've done that, it should say somewhere up here key stored. And then what you have to do is you have to go to Preferences and Hotkeys, and you have to store or save. I forget which. It would be worth looking it up because it has been a very long time since I've had to do that. But that's the basic way to do it. Is you have to. You have to, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's Control Shift. It amazes me, people who can actually do music. I tried to learn music certainly when I was a bit younger, but I could not wrap my head, I could not wrap my melon around reading music. I mean, I always had enough problems reading can sculpt masterpieces, but you asked me to draw something, and it's going to be kind of like, okay. I might be able to do a stick figure. Save it because I realise I haven't saved in about 2 hours. It's a risky game you play when you ZBrush sometimes. You just kind of like, hey, keep working, and all of a sudden it crashes and lost ridiculous hours of work. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do at the moment is I'm going to... what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add in the Linkin Park logo that I want to put in there. So if you bear with me, this is going to be a little bit. This is going to be a little technically. This is going to be a little technical. So you'll see some random stuff, but for those of you who are interested in ZBrushing, this I'm going to use what's called the So Shadowbox, the way this works is it generates the topology based on the mask that you actually have within the object. think I've got a few more little bits I want to kind of correct. I've obviously got to correct what the hell's gone on with his back, and also I've got to do the hair the rest of the way and everything else. So a lot of this is going to be kind of the, I don't want to say uninteresting stuff. This is just going to be the other bits and bobs. Sorry, folks, again if I've gone a little quiet. I'm very close to getting this thing right. It's so near. It's so near and yet so far. Yeah. Area over the eyebrows is a tiny bit too pronounced. Yeah, no, you are right. I think I've just come to that conclusion as well. So I am very slowly sort of sculpting it back a bit because he's, like I say, it's at the tipping point now, where it's either going to look right or it's going to look really, really wrong. Probably. Stuck on what's wrong with your sculpt is to swap the material that you are currently using, because if you can swap the material out, it's kind of like looking at it upside down. In fact, actually I'm just going to do that as well, because if you look at something upside down, it immediately resets your view on it, and normally you can spot what's wrong. God, you'll see. Some artists really don't like doing this because you realise just how bad the piece is, and you realise how much needs to change before it's going to look right. But surgery, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but especially for abstract work. I don't think I've really done much in the way of abstract work myself. But yes, you know, surgery, it may hurt, but it cures, usually. So, yes. Even if you don't want to do it, flip it upside down, take a good look at it, and then, like I say, you'll probably you'll spot what's wrong with it, guaranteed. Chester 3, Chester 4. Oh, well, thank you very much, Zozo the Brit. Fellow Brit. Anyway, yeah, thank you very much for coming along. Much appreciated. Please like and follow and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. It helps me out, and yeah. I would like to, in an ideal world, be able to put his tattoos on, but obviously those wouldn't come out in print, so I'll have a think about it. I'll have a think about what else I'm going to do with this one. No, not even for sale. It'll be for free. If you look on my my network tab, you'll see something called My Mini Factory, which is actually a 3D print website where all of the content is created by people like me, but it's all there for free for download for people with 3D printers. It's actually hosted by iMaker, who sell 3D printers. So it's in their interest to have stuff for people to print. And yeah, all of my stuff will be there. I've got quite a few pieces there. More recently I've started doing busts. And obviously Chester here will become part of my collection. Definitely hold a special place. Give it the one when he's done. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. Like I say, there's a lot of work there. It's a good website to belong to. The community is great. A lot of people with a lot of knowledge. A lot of people from different disciplines as well. So, I mean, I specifically do 3D printing for jewellery. But I do a lot of ZBrush work. So obviously, you know, turning my hand to this kind of stuff isn't too far away from me. But I mean, you know, you name it, there's someone there who does it for whatever purpose. So there's a couple of there's toy makers. There's people who make like gadgets, stuff for technologies. A lot of people who do like God, what they're called? Like rigs for quadcopters, stuff like that. ZBrush is the king. It just is. As my friend Photis here will tell you, I have converted him into the Church of ZBrush. You should go take a look at Photis' work as well. He's got quite a nice collection of bits and bobs. He's got very creative collection. I like his work. But yeah, do take a look. Do take a look at everyone there. Yeah, I mean, if you don't actually want to necessarily shell out for ZBrush, they actually do a free version of ZBrush, which is called Sculpturis, which is a good starting point. So if you want to try ZBrush without actually necessarily having to go buy it straight away, and just sort of get your head around it, Sculpturis is a great place to start. You will learn the fundamentals. You'll learn the fundamentals there very quickly. Oh my God. topology doesn't matter. It doesn't matter one iota. You don't have to care about it at all. What you have to care about is the physicality of the piece and how well it's going to print. So you notice that I've got everything's on a. Yeah, it does have its own inherent problems that you have to get your head round, and a lot of that just comes from trial and error. It's things like how much detail you can actually get away with putting in before it just becomes pointless. But the thing is that your printer's only printing at, say, 100 or 200 microns a layer, in which case, all that time you've just spent putting on all the follicles of the face and all that sort of stuff. There's no point. There's no point at all, because it's detail. It's pointless detail. It's just going to get lost in the print. Yeah, no, the Formlabs 2 printer is a very good SLA printer. If you want examples of what it can actually do, go on the ZBrush Central. Alien, Ava from Neon Genesis, from the last film of that one, but he made it a pen holder. Have one of the classics. Plus these adverts, hold on. Yep. Right. Sorry, I was just checking some reference material. Just to make sure I'm still heading in the right direction. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually just very quickly render this one. Just to see how it looks. So, let's give it a quick save. 6. Not like that light. Well, we're not a million miles away. Yeah, kind of. I'm a ZBrush artist. I do jewellery for a living. But I do very, very sculptural jewellery. What of my work is there. Ah, that's what we want.
My laptop has the nastiest virus and I'm terrified.
Don't be scared. You know, an iPad Pro is built to be safer from viruses, so relax. There's nothing to be afraid of. Except ghosts. Boo.
Very weird, Ad. Weirder and weirder. Ugh. Yeah, I know. Adverts. And you hate them. Right. Well, I gotta be honest here. I think I'm gonna call it quits today. I've done enough. I've done enough damage today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna render it a few more times.